Hello and welcome to today's edition of Top Rated Recruiter Spotlight. My name is Adam Conrad. I'm the founder and CXO of Great Recruiters. We are the review generation, brand promotion, and the biggest lovers of recruiters out there. And I am joined here today with one of our Q2 top-rated recruiters, Tyler Carver with IDR. Tyler, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm doing great, man. I always love talking to great recruiters out there. I love talking to people who are creating great experiences for the candidate. We know there are a lot of recruiters that don't do that. And I can tell by your 4.75 star review, you got 61 reviews. People love working with you. And what's funny is he's a great recruiter, comes up a lot in a lot of your reviews. People just flat out say, he's a great recruiter, very professional, positive attitude, knowledgeable, great service skills, knowledgeable, professional. Like, dude, you're doing it all, man. You're making people feel great, and your reviews show it. So congratulations on being rated, top rated. That we didn't do that. You did that. And obviously you're doing a great job because your candidates love you. So kudos to you. Tell us a little bit about IDR, Tyler.
Yeah, IDR. So there's a couple other great recruiters with us. They're on the healthcare side. I am on the technology side, kind of our bread and butter, doing everything IT from, help desk, developers, project managers, all of that. We're based out of Atlanta, but I'm actually in the Denver office here. So do a lot of work in Colorado area, but all across the country too, remote jobs and everything.
Okay. And tell us, give us a little bit about your background. You were sharing beforehand, like, what's your origin story, man? You took a different path. You didn't grow up thinking I want to be a recruiter, but you got here, and love to hear about that story.
Yeah, so I've been recruiting for about 2 years now. I joined IDR last year in January. I was working in staffing before, but I started out as a teacher. I was a music teacher, and I really loved working with the students and everything. But the pandemic in 2020, I just kind of, I was substitute teaching. I realized my life kind of took a different route, and I wanted to see, kind of what else was out there for me. And I really ended up being drawn to staffing and recruiting because, I like working with the candidate side and everything like that.
Yeah. So how did you get hooked up with IDR? How do you go from being a substitute teacher, teaching music, to being a recruiter? How'd you get hooked up with this opportunity?
Yeah. It was tricky because I had to find a path, right? And I kind of started out doing like kind of customer service and eventually moved into the staffing. I had a friend that was working in there and they got me a remote admin job. I was actually working at the resume center there. We would just reformat resumes. And that was going okay. And I liked, the people that I worked with. I liked the industry. And I said, kind of want to bet on myself a little bit. And I want to step into the world of recruiting and see how that goes for me. And I really found that I liked it. I kind of, doing the admin work, they kind of wanted me to stay there. And I said, I want to find something for myself. And IDR, I interviewed with them and they really liked me. I really liked them. And we went for it.
That's awesome, man. So you're just hitting that two-year hump, right? A lot of recruiters, they don't make it 2 years. So obviously you got to love what you're doing. You got to love working with people. What was it about recruiting that kind of just got you hooked?
Yeah, I think for me, it's always a little different every day. We're at least here we're working different jobs with different companies, and then talking to all sorts of different people. So I really like kind of learning all about what people do, what makes them kick, what they do day to day, and learning more about those skills. It's always a little interesting, hearing from like what a developer does or what a project manager would do. I kind of like having that difference day to day, right? Like I'm not doing the same thing over and over. Right. That really draw me to it.
And I got to imagine from day one to now, talking to a developer, it's a heck of a lot easier these days.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think that's what's really helped me out year two. Year one, it was just a lot of kind of discovery, figuring out, what are these folks doing? What are the different languages, all of those,
Right.
the technologies. Now I get put on a developer job. I'm like, oh, I know what these are. I know what I'm looking for in a person now.
Yeah,
It helps a lot.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
really good. And as a recruiter, how has Great Recruiters helped you?
Yeah. I think it made me really conscious of, what I'm doing with my candidates, right? I always was like, oh, I need to do these things. But then once Great Recruiters came there, I thought, okay, the better I do, the better, they're going to rate me, right? And my service isn't just something that I'm, consciously thinking about. It's more of like, I want those 5 stars. Every time I get something that's not 5 stars, I'm like, what am I missing out on? What do I need to do to be a better recruiter, to help them better? So being a little bit more conscious about, okay, these are the things that I need to be doing to get those 5 stars, to, have the candidate experience be better working with me.
And prior to it, I got to imagine it's a black box. You don't really know what you don't know because
Mhm.
typically candidates aren't just forthcoming and telling you these things. So, being able to have an easy way to get that feedback has helped you be more successful because you're learning from what the people that you're serving out there, what they think. Is that right?
Yeah, that's very accurate. I think, on LinkedIn, I'll see posts about, people complaining about recruiters, complaining what they're not seeing, right? And so I was aware of it there, but then, when I do get a bad review and I see little things ding, I'm like, okay, this is what I need to be doing better. How I can help my candidates better throughout the whole process.
Well, and the important thing is you want to, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot of recruiters that get that negative and they're just like, that candidate's no good, right? But I think
Yeah.
the reason you're having success is because you're embracing it, right?
Mhm.
Nobody's perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about having progress and growing and being better. And as you're young in your career and you're continuing to
Yeah.
go, I love to hear that you're taking that feedback to heart because your candidates feel it, right? Your candidates know that you care about what you're doing, that you're trying to get better, and when that happens, they want to invest a little bit more in you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when we first started with Great Recruiters too, I was reaching out to my old candidates and just trying to get as much feedback I could, to not only just get a so that, if I do, have a mistake or something somewhere, um,
Yeah.
but then also kind of knowing, okay, these are what my candidates like to see from me. I got to keep doing these things moving forward.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And what is being named? I mean, with that, I mean, you come a long way. Here you are
Yeah.
being named top rated recruiter for Q2 2024. What did that mean to you when you found out you were on the top rated list?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it felt good because um, it it was great seeing that feedback and everything, and everything that folks were saying means, doing the right things for them. They're can use me as an asset. My job is, a lot of times working for, what our clients are looking for, right? Like trying to find the niche skill sets, trying to help them, grow their workforce. But knowing that I'm not only helping them, but my candidates too, and being an asset to them and getting them into the jobs that they love and helping their careers grow, really meant a lot to me, to see those things, and to know that, this relationship is working on both ways.
No, it's awesome. So talk a little bit more about the types of roles that you're really focused on. So you're in Denver, headquarters
Mhm.
over in Atlanta. Sounds like from
Yeah.
a location perspective, are you recruiting nationwide or do you find yourself recruiting regionally?
Yeah, we do recruit nationwide, when our clients, a lot of companies are remote. I think on the technology side, we're seeing more of that move towards in office now, right? But I'd say our focus is in the Denver area, or like all throughout Colorado. So that's really what I'm focused on, trying to, build up those pipelines, meet with candidates in the area. But I do work, nationwide. I'll see, roles on East Coast, West Coast. But yeah, always, trying to meet new developers, project managers, those kind of folks in the Denver area. But I think growing our base here is really important to us.
Right. Well, and it's growing the base. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, and still in the remote
Mhm.
world, you have the opportunity to take great local candidate that there might be a remote role with another client somewhere else that you can to have that relationship. There's that trust piece, built there. So it allows you to kind of expand
Mhm.
that network a little bit outside if there isn't a local opportunity. Um, what, uh, what should candidates expect when working with you, Tyler?
Yeah, good question. I think something that I really put a focus from this, and really since I started with IDR, is communicating, and maybe even over communicating a little bit, right? And at first, I felt a little awkward, calling a candidate saying, "Hey, we're still kind of waiting here, still, trying to get feedback, and we are pushing for you, but everyone has their own timelines, right?" But over communicating, I've had more candidates than I expect say, "Hey, I appreciate you reaching out, even if you don't have an update. Keep doing that." And I see that, from what the candidates say and from great recruiters too. They're saying
Yeah.
that I'm a good communicator, and that's what I'm always striving to be.
That's awesome. I mean, and that's the reality. No one's going to be expected to be an expert in anything. And the number
Mhm.
one thing that you can control is you can control the experience that somebody has working with you. And I know
Mhm.
when I started recruiting, it's tough when you don't have the answer. You feel that need like you should, but that's not what they're looking for. They just want the answer. You don't have to necessarily have the answer.
Mhm.
So it's ability to communicate like, hey, I might not know that, but let me take care of it. I'm going to find out for you. And it's the one thing that we can control is we can't promise placing everybody we talk to, but we can promise creating a great experience, meeting them where they're at, understanding what their needs are. And I love the over communication because a
Mhm.
candidate that's waiting for feedback, no feedback is feedback.
Yeah.
No call is you forgot about me, which is probably one of the worst things that we
Mhm.
see that recruiters do is they're like, I don't have any feedback. I don't want to call this guy back again. It's like, no, call him back, embrace the fact you're not the one producing the feedback. You're the messenger. So as the messenger, continually communicate. So kudos to you for doing that. And I mean, just reading your reviews, it's obvious the candidates care about the time that you do take to make those calls, to make sure that they're feeling comfortable,
Mhm.
and just you continue doing that, and this is just the beginning for you. You're going to have a very successful career, Tyler.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, feels good, and it felt awkward at first, and then but they do appreciate that feedback and hearing from that. And I can imagine, being on the other side too. We've all had to look for a new position, and just knowing that you're thought of. Hey, we're still fighting for you. You're still in play here. It always feels good.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, that's a wrap for us today. This is Tyler Carver with IDR. He's in the Colorado area. If you're looking for an IT recruiter that can help you, I'm hearing project managers, I'm hearing developers. Hey, look, there's a lot of recruiters out there. And if you don't know where to turn to a great recruiter who's at least going to treat you with dignity, respect, going to communicate with you. And whether or not they have the opportunity, they're going to make sure that you have a great experience. And eventually those opportunities will come along. So again, Tyler, congratulations on the great work you're doing and for being named Q2 2024 top rated recruiter, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Adam. Been a pleasure. I really appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, everybody, go out there and be great.